Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with various wins for the Christmas Market Tournament here in Golf Clash. And the game, we're gonna play a mix of the City Park and the Greenberg Slopes for this beautiful Christmas tournament in Golf Clash. Before we take a closer look, make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button if you do enjoy the video. Also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification. For those of you that want to take the next step in your game, scan the QR code here on the screen or use the link patreon.com/golfclashtommy in the description down below to get to our premium guides. Follow the info box on the right hand side for the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there is always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. So for hole number 1, this is gonna be a very good chance for an eagle, and I would say if you're playing for gold banners, this is a hole that you're gonna have to eagle regardless what wind direction you have. Start by adding 4.5 bar topspin and 1 right spin ball guideline center down the fairway, and we are adjusting maximum distance plus 10. Using the extra mile here helps us having the distance even in headwinds, but obviously those of you that do play with higher level clubs, especially with the rock and the quarterback, can use that club instead for better accuracy and therefore prevent bad grades to go into the rough. Now, second shot gonna be played with a thorn. And the reason I want to play with a thorn is due to the fact that I want to have the first bounce on the fringe or just on the green. The reason I don't want to bounce on the fairway before that is because that spot is unfortunately very glitchy. So it's going to be somewhere between 2 to 5 bars of backspin depending on how long your drive is. And then you need to measure the club distance, meaning that you go to minimum distance, then you go to maximum distance to judge the club distance that you're going to use. Minus 10% elevation is the correct elevation here, and the reason we play minus 10 is something you will notice now when it's time to take the shot. You can see that the pin stands above, like further up than where the ball is at the moment. So what that means is that we're playing uphill, and the ball will then be affected less by the wind. Now, perfect ball is getting in the hole. I was a little bit lucky because I did have some underpower on that shot too. But this is a fairly simple eagle to get, but obviously need it perfect on the second shot. Players always ask me, why do I go for so many rough bumps? It's because the rough bumps is the best way to attack the pin for drops many of the times, not all the time. But in a scenario like this, where we do have a rough bump that allows us to have a nice ball guideline, to then have a bounce up shot with a ball guideline you can't really read, and stuff like that, then for me it's a no-brainer. If you want to go for a hole-in-one, I believe that even from the front tee, we should be playing an aggressive route here. Sure, always playing aggressive means that you take a bigger risk, but I'm not here to give you a safe way for a birdie. I'm here to give you an alternative for getting a hole-in-one, and the best way is this way. Medium distance plus 10, using a ball with 3 left spin, also using enough top spin to get the ball guideline slightly short of pin, because have in mind the backbone does not have a fully developed ball guideline, and we need to compensate for that, whereof once again a gracefully level 7 or better will have a massive advantage. Nice little drop here on hole number 4. Hole number 9, now we need to take ourselves down the right hand side, and the best way to do this in tailwind is to use our quarterback and a power 3 ball. The power 3 ball not so much for the drive, but especially the second shot, because using a power 3 ball here together with the sniper is going to allow you to go a little bit short on drive and still be in range for the play we want on the second shot, especially if you are, as me, having sniper 7. We're using curl to the right, using all the side spin to the right. We're also using all the top spin on quarterback level 8. We do want to get to around 315 to 320 yards. Second shot now. Right, this one is a classic because we have very it's very common that we are bouncing on this pad over and attacking the pin. This is probably one of the most flat greens we do have of the city park, which also allow us to make some errors and still be in decent shape for the pot. Second shot here should be played minus 10% elevation, but I'm actually making a pretty big error. I'm not sure if anyone noticed that, but I actually played it plus 10 instead of minus 10, and that obviously is going to make a difference. Not much difference because the wind is so low, but enough difference to miss on the right hand side, being over adjusted on this shot. But even if I miss, I make sure that I'm using spin that allow me to still stay close to the pin and getting a simple putt. So for hole number 4, this is gonna be a perfect hole to play with the big topper. So it doesn't matter what level you have the big topper in, here we should be using that club. Why? It's because of its topspin. You can see that I'm using all the topspin that I can, combined with having then the ball guideline pointing towards the bunker. Looks strange, but the fairway is sloping left to right, or having a slope that gets the ball to go left to right there. The goal is to have the ball roll past the bunker and the rough on the left, and obviously on the right too, and end up on the fairway for a short iron to pin. I'm playing with a power 3 ball in headwind. In crosswind, a power 2 ball is enough. In tailwind, you can even play with a power 0 or power 1 ball. Adjustment max plus 5, then we go with outside wall curl to the right, bounces on the fairway, and now we're playing a close line, which obviously involves the risk of clipping the rough. But as we do have a lot of topspin, we are going to get ourselves down there to get ourselves a short iron. So if we do clip the rough, we're gonna be playing somewhere between the medium and maximum distance to pin. If we don't clip the rough, it's gonna be more towards minimum or medium distance of our club instead. So always check the club distance, and then you estimate then, and then you make your adjustment. Ball guideline to the hole. I play this one 10% elevation if we are on that hill there. If we do fall even further down, I play no elevation on the second shot. Not using any spin with a thorn. The spin somewhat, yeah, you can decide whatever spin you want to go with. But me personally, when I play with short irons on an open fairway like this, I believe playing without spin helps you get better control of how to read the bounces. And you can see here that we're getting that one super duper close. Very unlucky to lip that one out on the left hand side. Hole number 4 here is somewhat similar to me than hole number 1. Maybe a tad harder. But it's still going to be a par 4 that you're going to have to drop if you're going to have anything to do with winning the tournament. Take your game to the next level with our ultimate tournament tips guides for the Christmas market tournament. This is a perfect chance for you to spend more time with your family and friends during Christmas, and let our guides help you to the weekend round and help you to a good position whilst you are spending less time in practice. We do offer for expert and master the vision. For those of you that you want to dabble in tour play and checkpoint challenge, do a premium guide for that as well. Scan the QR code here on the screen or use the link in the description down below called patreon.com/golfclashtommy and get yourself to our page and sign up for the package that suits you the best. For hole number 3, the best way to get an hole-in-one here is to play a rough bump. And unfortunately, this rough bump is a bit risky. And the reason for that is that we're playing on a very small strip of rough. And the reason I wanted to play this shot for you is to show those of you that are watching this video the best possible chance for an hole-in-one. If you're looking to just get a birdie, and I'm saying just get a birdie because on par 3s is where you win tournaments. There is also where you can make a difference in making the weekend round or not. But let's say that you're not interested in making but let's say that you do want to secure the birdie without taking any risks. Then bounce on the fairway up towards the pin. You will most of the time not get an hole-in-one, but you will at least get yourself a birdie. Adjustment 20% through club distance. I do need to adjust a little bit more here in this wind angle to get this ball to drop. The spin that I'm using is to have spin to pin to make sure to simplify the adjustment as much as possible. For hole number 6, we strongly advise you to play with a power 5 ball. The Big Topper is a perfect club here to ensure that we're getting distance enough on the fairway on the left. Because why, or let's say like this, why is distance so important here on the drive? It's because the second shot will otherwise be impossible to attack the pin if you're not getting far enough on the left. And the Big Topper does something that very few other clubs is doing, which is allowing you to go with a lot of topspin. Because playing with low level extra miles, Thor's Hammer, Apocalypse and stuff like that won't give you more than, I mean, all from 4.5 up to maybe 6-7 bars of topspin. And here the Big Topper gives us more and we can reach further, and combined with a power 5 ball will leave us in a spot that is like this. So you can see here now that we are not even at max club. So if you are a Sniper 10 user, use the Sniper 10 because of its better ball guideline. Now I'm going to have to just guess where my ball is going to end up, and sure, if we're looking at this now in hindsight, it's truly what can I say, it's truly it's obviously obvious that we're going to have this ball to bounce long and it's going to leave ourselves for a bad putt, and that's something to have in mind. That leaving ourselves with a bad putt is not something that is recommended. So getting up here, up the hill, and the ball somewhat stays there, it's from here at least a easy putt. But if we would be rolling down even more left, that's going to be a much harder putt to make. So something to have in mind as well. 5% elevation, true club distance on the second shot. Hole number 7 offers two alternatives here in my opinion. One, we can go for a rough bump, but I would say that the rough bump is more preferred if you do have a straight crosswind or a tailwind, then you can reach with your Sniper. Other than that, we're gonna do a bounce over if we do have a headwind. So you can see here now that I'm leaving the ball guideline short here, and this is a Sniper level 6, which obviously complicates things, especially when using a pretty crappy ball guideline. But having a Sniper 7 or a Sniper 7 or better, you will have a ball guideline to the hole there. Medium distance plus 15 is what we are looking for here on this hole. And adjustment is made, and we do have our navigator ball to reduce the wind a little bit. I think there's value to that, especially if we do have a headwind. Crosswind and tailwind doesn't really matter that much, but especially in headwind, due to the compressed ball guideline, it's much more helpful to do have a little wind resistance to get that one to work in the best way possible. Right that pin for a beautiful hole-in-one on the par 3, which I do believe you will see the most hole-in-ones of the 3 offered here in the upcoming tournament. Hole number 7. Here we're going to bounce over to the left hand side. 3 left spin and 4.5 bar top spin. We do want to reach as far up there as we can. Now, when the screen turns very pixely, we're going to make an adjustment of max plus 10, and we're going to use approximately 3/4 of a ball of left curl. I'm using a katana to give myself the side spin 3, as it's not necessary with any better power. I'm making sure not to use a kingmaker, and I'm saving those here. Obviously, if being, I mean, no, there will be no time where a kingmaker actually will be something to play with. Now, right, so here I'm kind of exploring different alternatives here, because the rough bump there, you know, if we can play a rough bump, why not, you know? But ending up playing the standard way, which is bounce on the fairway over towards the pin. Very important to back up a little bit here, because it's super easy to be in a spot where the glitch is in play. And when the glitch is in play, then we don't know if we're gonna go short or we're gonna go long, and what that will make is that gonna make for a difficult putt in the end. So back up a little bit like I did here, use spin to pin and make a proper adjustment. No elevation and true club distance. I'm reading the club distance a little bit wrong here, which makes me to miss just left, which means that I'm over adjusting and have to reduce my adjustment just slightly. But in my opinion, decent chance on hole 7. Hole number 2 is going to be a tough one to drop an albatross on, and that's because we're going to have to play with a lot of elevation for the second shot. Par 5s is always tougher to drop than par 4s and par 3s, then in my opinion. Adjust max plus 10, we play with 4.5 bar topspin and 2 bars of left spin. The goal is to get the ball to be staying safely on the fairway. One thing that I would like you to have in mind is that if you do not have the Grizzly level 7 or better, I would suggest to play shorter than what I'm doing here in the video. And the reason for that is that I would rather want to play with a sniper with a better ball guideline than having to play with a Goliath or a Grizzly or a B52 that does not have a good ball guideline. Because if we don't have a good ball guideline, this albatross will be even less possible than what it already is. So we're gonna play 20% elevation and true club distance number. And even if I played with the Goliath here in the video, the info box, I've added the sniper just because the sniper is going to be the better club to play here to maximize the chance for an albatross. Center the ball and hit perfect, and once again, even if we do have a crappy ball guideline, we're still going to have the possibility to get a drop. But hitting a great ball with a Goliath is almost like clicking the forfeit button, because that's gonna be nowhere near a drop here, because a Goliath with its bad accuracy, that's gonna move way left or way right if you do hit a great ball. In the end though, it's gonna be a simple eagle, and that's what matters the most. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division with various wins here for the Christmas Market Tournament here in Golf Clash and the game. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy via the link in the description down below for premium guides for all game modes in Golf Clash.